Hello, my name is Prayer Carter, and today I will be doing my understanding of conflict presentation. So, when it comes to the conflict of this presentation, it's going to be the lack of affordable housing, resulting in community displacement, financial concerns for developers, and limited government resources to address the housing crisis. And when we look at this conflict, some of the stakeholders consist of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development representatives, also the community members, private sector employees, and then also local government officials. And this conflict will fall under interest and commitment conflict, where the community members they prioritize affordability and anti-displacement efforts, and then also the private sector employees where they focus on financial incentives for development, the local government official as they must balance regulations and budgets, and then also the HUD representative, which they see collaboration and long-term planning. This conflict also falls under a structural conflict where they're facing limited affordable housing, zoning restrictions, budget constraints, and funded limitations. And so, as a social worker, the role that I can play when it comes to this conflict is one, advocate for community needs and vulnerable residents. Also, facilitate communication between stakeholders, connect residents to housing and support services, also gather community feedback to inform decisions. So this can be through a community needs assessment. Also promote equitable housing policies, so such as lobbying, and then also build trust and collaboration among partners. And then some of the best strategies to mitigate this conflict is going to be one, mediation. So this takes place as facilitate open communication between stakeholders to find collaborative solutions that balance community needs, also developmental goals, and also government limitations. Another strategy will be advocacy, which is ensuring the vulnerable residents' voices are represented and also promote equitable housing policies, affordable housing, and anti-placement efforts. So there are a couple steps in resolving the problem. And so step one is confrontation. This looks like addressing the housing crisis directly by identifying concerns, tensions, and stakeholders' perspectives. Two, establish common ground, which focuses on shared goals such as increasing affordable housing and community stability. Step three, which is emphasize communication. So this looks like encouraging respectful dialogue and active listening among stakeholders to reduce misunderstanding. Step four, emphasizing willingness to cooperate. So this looks like promoting collaboration between HUD, local government, the developers, and also the residents to create solutions. And so some of the other steps, steps five, empathize with opposing perspective, right? So this looks like acknowledging each stakeholder's concerns, including affordability, budget limitations, and developmental feasibility. And then also step six, evaluate motivation to address conflict. So this looks like assessing the stakeholders' willingness to participate and commitment to resolving the housing issue. And then lastly, step seven, where we want to reach a mutual satisfactory agreement. So here we will develop a balanced action plan that addresses community needs while also considering available resources and limitations. And then this is ways that we can collaborate, right, to advocate and empower the community. One, partner with organizations to expand housing resources and support services. Also, engage community members in meetings and decision makings. Also, provide education on housing rights, resources, and self-advocacy. We can also advocate for equitable policies that support affordable housing. And then lastly, encourage community leadership to promote long-term empowerment and change. And then lastly, how do we balance the advocate and empowerment role as a social worker, right? So first, advocate when necessary to remove barriers and protect the vulnerable population, which will be the community members. Empower residents to voice concerns and participate in decision making. This is a good one. Work with, not for the community to promote independence and self-advocacy. Also, provide tools and resources so residents can take active roles in the solutions. And then lastly, we want to encourage shared leadership to create long-term community change. And that is my conflict presentation, and here is my resources. Thank you.